This is like I feel like from last night, like they had some liquor and like the guy made me a rum and coke, and I kid you not, it was so strong that like I drank a quarter of it and went back like and had to get a beer, like, and was just like I'd take a little sip of the rum and coke and then I'd have to like
you can wash it down with
like,
the beer.
I'd literally drink like a quarter of the beer and be like, all right, I did a sip of this. I need to do like 4 sips of the beer now because like I can't do it. And bro, like you're not getting tipped any better. Like I'm not that type of person.
I don't need it this strong. I
don't know if it's because he saw me tip a 10 like at the beginning of the night, but that was just kind of for the whole night, you know?
Yeah.
And like
that was in advance.
I mean, I saw him dump it and I was just like, oh shit. Crap, that looked like at least 4 shots right now. Like, and it was like my first mixed drink. Like, I'm not in the mood for that. Like, I'm not trying to end up waking up with the goats tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? I'm not talking Paul Rabil. Like, I'm talking about the little goats and cows that were across.
Screaming goats, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, I probably would have got drunk and wanted to go pet them or something like that. Like, I was at a farm earlier and they had a goats petting zoo, so I probably would have thought I was at the petting zoo earlier, and then bad times.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bright Connections. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks. We've been off for a couple weeks now, but we're finally back. Excited to be back. Excited to talk to some people again and bring some brightness and some connections to your day. It's been a needed little break/pause from stuff, but again, happy to be back. So joining me this week, Collin is back. As you can imagine, we're probably going to be talking about, as evidenced by our last episode, but some other things we're going to talk about as well. It should be fun. So, Collin, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. So, Collin actually just got back from a wedding yesterday. So, Collin, you had an interesting story with that wedding.
Yeah, it was just it was a buddy that I met through snowboarding, so it was kind of cool. The whole group I was with was just kind of a snowboarding group, so it was neat to see them a little out of season, and it was in Carlisle, Pennsylvania here, kind of out where I'm at. But no, it was a neat little twist. It wasn't your typical or traditional wedding, I guess you'd say, for in a church and kind of whole ordeal with that, where this one was, we walked up there and immediately, everyone's drinking a beer and having a good time and chatting. And actually the groom was interacting with everyone, like leading up until, the actual ceremony and stuff. He snowboarded. So he had a little miniature snowboard made up, and that was what everyone signed and stuff like that for, to have the whole guest list signing and stuff. So that was a neat little, twist on, getting all your guest names down and stuff like that. And then, during the actual ceremony, they were cool with us having a drink. So like everyone had a beer or a mixed drink while, they're getting married and stuff like that. That was different, but really, really cool. Nice little, twist. And then, food wise, they mixed it up too. They had a little kind of taco nacho bar thing, if you will, while they were having all their pictures taken for an appetizer, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then for dinner, they had a local pizza place come up, and they were making the wood fired pizzas and stuff like that, and just kind of buffet style, go up and get whatever pizza you wanted. And they had like, I don't know, like 6 or 8 different types of pizza, and it was cool. Like it was felt like more of like a small get together rather than like a wedding. But like to me, people were able to interact a heck of a lot more than your typical weddings, and kind of being almost like robotic with some of the way the weddings are, and you don't really get to see people or stuff like that. So it was really cool, out on farmland when we were we drove up on a dirt road, and there's goats and cows and stuff off to the left and all that stuff. So that's kind of central Pennsylvania for you a bit. But no, it was cool to see a different twist on the weddings and how everyone incorporate. It was cool to see them incorporate stuff that really meant something to them, and you could tell it was like their wedding and stuff like that. So it was really cool. And about like a year and a couple weeks, I'll be getting married at this time. So it's neat to be going to some and just you get a little sample of what people are doing, and just put your own little twist on it and stuff like
Exactly.
that. So
Yeah,
it was definitely neat. So feeling a little tired, a little beat up, but not too bad.
yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's so cool to hear people's twists and people's their own little sense of their personality in their wedding. That makes it that much more special. Obviously it's your day, it's your wedding, it's your wedding day. It's meant to be all about you, but for you to not only get married and have the ceremony and do whatever you need to do, but to put your own little twist on it with like a taco bar and a pizza bar. That's really cool. I thought that's really cool. A lot of people, and it's very different. You have people that want to do the traditional wedding where you have everything by the book. You do this, you do this, you do this. Then you do also have these people that that will want to do something totally different, something off the books that's their own thing, and it's obviously neither way's better than the other, but it makes for a cool story, definitely for the people doing the different things. A little bit more, I think in a way it could be a little bit more memorable, a little bit more especially for your guests too. Like they're gonna remember your wedding if it's a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head earlier by just saying like it's your day. You know what I mean? Like you want to your type of thing, and that's where like myself and my fiance, we're going to be doing one that's outdoors. We're hoping for the good, kind of leaves changing colors and stuff like that. But there's going to be the venue we got has a little area to make s'mores at the end of the night and stuff like that, and just some different things. Mine, my one buddy of mine that's in my party, him and his wife are actually deaf. So, I'm going to have an interpreter there for him and stuff like that. And I made sure, he has trouble, new songs. He can't get them. You know what I mean? He said it just sounds like static to him.
Right.
But there's songs as a kid growing up, and he's a big Linkin Park fan and a couple others. And he's listened to those songs and read those lyrics. So it's built up to him time and time again. But like he could probably know every Linkin Park song type of ordeal. So, I made sure to reach out to him music wise, saying, hey, you and your wife, who what songs can we play so that you guys can actually enjoy, it might only be a quarter of the songs, it might only be a tenth of the songs, or even 3 or 4 out of however many, but like to know that they'll actually be able to like enjoy those ones is a good feeling, and that they can actually feel a part of the wedding with having the interpreter. So that's my little kind of twist on my wedding, and the extra fun of trying to figure that stuff out.
Right. Yeah,
it's all for a good reason. You know what I mean? He's one of my good friends, and I want to make sure that him and his wife are as comfortable as possible.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like you said, it's all customizable, and it's all able to be changed. And you, like you said, you want to make sure that everybody's having a good time. Everybody's feeling welcomed in their own way. So
absolutely. So
awesome.
He was really thrilled about it, and grateful about it and stuff like that. So just gotta get it in the works.
Yeah, it's gonna come up a lot quicker than you think, huh?
There's a lot more crap you don't realize that goes on in this, and I'm just like, I'm glad my mom's helping as much as she is, because I'd be lost, honestly. I mean, her and Kelly are handling it the most part. So
Yep. All right, so that was Collin's little wedding story. I thought that was really interesting. Like when he mentioned the taco bar and the pizza bar and just having things different. It really made for a good story, and I'm sure Collin will remember that wedding. As well as the bride and groom. That's their day. Weddings. I love weddings. I really do. I love weddings. The whole concept of making, yes, in a way it's almost like a big party. It's a big celebration, obviously, with in addition to the ceremony and being married. It's a great, like you said, a great gathering, a great get together for people that care about you and you care about them, and it always makes for a great day and great stories. And weddings are just a fantastic part of your life if you want it to be, obviously. So Collin and I are going to touch on lacrosse again. The PLL, as we touched on last time we talked, the Premier Lacrosse League did come to an end a couple weeks ago. We did have our championship game, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit, and then we're also gonna touch on the announcement of retirement from one of the greatest all-time lacrosse players ever. Paul Rabil announced his retirement at the end of the year here. So we're going to talk about him for a while, and then we're going to end with a little a fun game, just to bring a little bit of fun and just laughs to the whole thing as well. So Collin, the Premier Lacrosse League ended a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
We did have was it the same? It was the same teams.
Same teams as last year, but a new champion.
Yes. So we did get a new champion. We thought going in, was there a chance for a three-peat? Was there a chance for the third consecutive year that the Whip Snakes were going to win the championship? They were actually defeated by the Chaos. So the Chaos Lacrosse Club defeated the Whip Snakes. I believe it was 13-10, right? Yeah,
13-9, something like that. It was like a
14-9. 14-9. Yeah. So we have a new champion. The Chaos looked good. Their offense really put on a good showing towards the end of the year. Really put it all together. And actually, I know in the semifinals, your team, the Whips or the Water Dogs, they came close. They put up a real good fight against Whip Snakes in the semifinals. I was rooting for them, but they did come up a little short.
Close, but no cigar. But you know what, man, from being the new team, into the league last year and being, the worst team on top of it, they finished in last, to go, they made some trades, picked up a goalie they needed and everything. And to go from kind of that situation in year one to year two and, being the number one record in the league for the regular season, making the playoffs, and it stinks that, you got that early exit, but they grew so much this year that it's tough to kind of be upset that they, and then you look at who they lost to, the team that's the back-to-back champions, the team that ended up making it to the finals again. So, with the Whip Snakes, no real surprise to me that they made it in there. To me, the big surprise, I think, even though that Chaos made it last year, the fact that they had, I think it was like a 2.6% chance of winning it all when they started, because they were the bottom seed of this going in. So for them to, their first playoff game to beat Archers surprised the crap out of me.
Yes.
And then, they beat Atlas, I believe. And then, in the finals, I was rooting 100% for Chaos, because I think it's better for the league to get a new team winning the championship rather than, 3 in a row. It's cool that like the league has that story of a back-to-back champion and trying for a three-peat, a neat little story. But I was so ecstatic to get a new champion in there, to be 100% honest.
Yeah. It was cool to see a different team. Like you said, it's cool to hear about the chance for a three-peat, but especially when you're a new league, kind of, share the wealth a little bit, give it to somebody else, do your three-peat down the road a couple of years or something. But it was a really good game. Blaze Reardon, the goalie for the Chaos, had another fantastic game. He ended up being the MVP, not only of the regular season, but I believe of the playoffs as well. Had an absolutely fantastic game. Really just a spark plug for that team. I mean, he brings so much life, so much energy. He keeps he's the field general, if you will. He's one of those goalies that you would not anticipate being athletic, but he can run. He runs up the field. He loves running up the field. He scored a goal in college. I think he scored a goal in the league. I don't think it was this year. I think it was last year or maybe the year before, but I know he's scored a couple goals as a goalie. He's just, like I said, he's just a huge spark plug. He brings a ton of energy and focus, and that team is so much better with a guy like him in goal. I like you said, you look at him, he doesn't, look the most athletic, but the boy can run, he can dodge some people. And I don't know what he plays now. It's kind of a bummer. The PLL is all done, but now, not as much coverage, but the NL
NLL, the National Lacrosse League, the indoor league starting
Yeah.
off. And I know Blaze, he plays for Philly.
I believe
So
he
I might
plays
get,
attack. I believe
yeah, and
he's
that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure he's not their goalie. So,
no.
he runs it around a lot, in the indoor and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll get lucky and be able to make, that's 2 hours from me here. So maybe I can make a trip down and get some indoor games. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll see what I know the schedule just came out for the league. So that's out and about.
Yeah. But Chaos, a great show. And obviously, like we talked about with Reardon, but they had a real good offense too, following the lead of Josh Byrne, fantastic player. They had a newcomer, the rookie, blanking on his name now, they're from Penn State, real good shooter. He was like the league leader in goals in college.
I know exactly who you're
Mac
talking
O'Keefe.
O'Keefe.
Yeah. Mac O'Keefe. They had a couple other guys. I'm blanking on the names right now, but just a real good offensive showing. But the biggest thing that I didn't expect is that their defense completely shut down the 2 reigning MVPs in Matt Rambo and Zed Williams from the Whipsnakes.
Yeah.
They had no goals. I know through the first half, I think Williams got 1 goal in the second half, but I don't think Rambo had anything. Zed, I know they really shut those two huge parts of the Whipsnakes down. And it was a big shock because those guys are really tough to shut down. I know Zed Williams was the league leader or the playoffs leader in goals going into the game. And the Chaos just did a fantastic job of just shutting those 2 guys down. And that really obviously helped their case to win the game.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you can hold the Whipsnakes under, double-digit goals, that's a good day in your defense's book, especially when you can make it in the championship game doing it. So.
Right. It's a clutch time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their defense played well the whole time. I'm looking here at the scores. The first game against the Archers, they held them to 10, and the Archers blew away people scoring wise the entire season. So they held them to 10. They held the Alice to 9. Another team that was great all year long. They held them under double digits. And then they did the same thing to Whipsnakes, 9 goals. So the Chaos defense, underrated apparently. Definitely underrated. I know for me going in, I thought about the Chaos for their attack, for Byrne and O'Keefe and Cluche and a couple other guys on attack. I didn't really think about their defense, but apparently I should have. I should have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But either way, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully, some of you guys checked it out. I know I talked about it before the game, a couple weeks before the game, to check it out. If you're a casual lacrosse fan or a diehard lacrosse fan, this league is up and coming. It's big, it's growing, and it's deserving. Lacrosse is a fantastic sport, and it's a ton of fun to watch, even if you don't fully understand it yet. I know I've talked to people before about other sports like hockey and stuff. They say it's just really hard to follow where the puck is. I feel like with lacrosse, it might be a little bit easier. Hopefully, I know when they shoot it, you can't see it because they shoot it so darn fast. But a lot of times when they're passing and doing stuff, you can kind of follow it. But either way, it's just a fantastic sport. And I really urge people to tune in and give it a shot because it's a ton of fun. It really is.
Yep. And it's finally getting its exposure, that people can tune in and watch and stuff like that. So it's nice to see it continue to grow.
Yep. So overall, the whole season, Collin, what do you think? Thoughts on the whole season in general?
I mean, good to see that there was an expansion, team, to kick it off to start the year. It was definitely a little weird having, Major League Lacrosse, that league fold and, just is this going to really work now that, it's this one league and everything like that. And, to them, to really, I feel like the PLL this year really kind of took the reins and, it definitely is the future. This is the league and everything. And, the fact that they added a team this year was great. I think, from seeing, teams like the Water Dogs going from kind of last place to first, at least and making the playoffs, for your regular season and stuff like that. And having a new champion and that team that is the new champion, had less than a 5% odds of winning the championship. They just snuck into the playoffs there and then everything got cooking for them, later in the season and everything. To be able to see, semifinal games in Philly, DC, and just seeing all the different, towns and cities that it's going to and expanding it is cool. And, I'm hoping it's just more the same next year. I hope they add a team. I hope they hit up a different cities and stuff like that. And maybe 5 years down the road or so forth, we're going to have our teams planted in cities and stuff like that. So, and any year's a good year for lacrosse in my book. So, bummed that it's done, but now I'm going to try to pay attention to the indoor league. But overall, I think it was a definite step forward for the progression of professional lacrosse. Absolutely.
Yep. I agree 100%. Now, what do you think for next year then? Do you think they're going to do another expansion next year? Or do you think they're going to wait another year or two?
I think so. I think especially with, Rabil, as we're going to get into it, retiring and stuff like that, with him being, the guy that, started this league, really him and his brother, kicking it off. I think now that he's not, going to have to worry about games and practices and, being the leader on his team and stuff like that. I think each year they'll add a new team, honestly, till they get to their comfort zone or till they get to their placing in cities. I hope they don't add 2 or 3 each year. I don't think that's good to flood it with that many new teams. I think just going, 1, maybe 2 tops a year is what we need to do. I think that'll keep the talent a little more, evenly dispersed as you go slower and slower. By that, but I see, next year in the future, I do see teams being added and eventually, not in Rabil's head, wish it could be to know some of these things, but, I think they'll eventually get planted into, cities and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's the future. I think they'll be on TV, just as much, if not more, going ahead in the future and stuff like that. He's got it on NBC and stuff like that. And Peacock with streaming. So I think only more good stuff. I feel like it's only going to continue to take a step forward and forward and forward now. I don't see Rabil letting this deteriorate.
I don't see him letting it go stale, or if you will, plateau. He's definitely, as we're going to talk about right now, actually, with him retiring and, like you said, focusing on the league itself now, he's going to continue to do everything he can to keep just growth every year, just rapidly growing, and it's exciting to think about. So so Paul Rabil, if you haven't heard about him, where you been, but Paul Rabil, I mean, not only a fantastic player, a great dude as well. I follow him a lot on social media, the way he talks, the way he, his persona, the way he goes about things. Obviously a hard worker for him to continue to to play at a high level at age 35 this year. Ended up putting up a high number of points. I know I had the stats up here. This year he put up 26 points, 16 1-point goals, 2 2-point goals, 6 assists, real good points numbers for the year. But if you don't know somehow, I'm going to tell you now, he is the all-time leading points getter in lacrosse history. So he is number 1 on the board for points for professional lacrosse players. He's number 1. He's got 657 points. He hit that mark this year. It was a great accomplishment, obviously, to see a guy like him. Just if you've ever watched his videos, if you ever paid attention to him at all, he's constantly working. He's constantly just at it, just perfecting everything he can. Dude works so hard at everything that he does, and it's well deserving that he's number 1 on the board, at the point sport. So fantastic career for him. Could not happen to a better person. The dude, seriously, he's my all-time favorite lacrosse player. He's been started out at Johns Hopkins, which is my favorite school, my favorite college school, and just from then on was always a name you heard about. Whether it be college or he's a 2-time world champion with USA. He's a 3-time professional lacrosse champion, a 3-time professional lacrosse MVP, two-time NCAA Division I champion with Johns Hopkins. I mean, the dude has all the accolades. He's got all the things you can ask for, but at the same time, he's humble. He's always giving credit to teammates. He's just one of those guys that just, he personifies a leader. You know, he's everything you want in a leader. He's everything you want in a person. And yes, it's the end of a fantastic career, but it's definitely not the end of Paul Rabil. We're still gonna hear a ton from him. He's still gonna be involved with everything. And just a clap of the hands to Paul Rabil for a wonderful career. Sad to see him go for sure, but well-deserved retirement. And just couldn't be happier for a dude to hang it up, being number one on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for especially our age, generation playing lacrosse, like you said, he's definitely probably the most talked about, the most known, guy of our generation. If you look in the past like 10 years, it's Paul Rabil. That was the face of whether it was the MLL or now with the PLL. So, in my mind, he's probably, with the magnitude of lacrosse, if you look everything in a whole picture, I think he's definitely the best ever for the sport. You know what I mean? You can look at on the field stuff, and I mean, you read it off. He's the 4-time All-American, at Hopkins. He won national titles there. He's got his world championships. He's literally won everything possible that you can in the lacrosse world. And, not only does that put him way up there, but, there's people like, the Powell brothers and the Gates and the Petromalas and all that, where you can throw some other guys in the mix there talking about who's the best ever to do it maybe on the field. And I think most certainly, he's easily in that top 5, top 3, conversation. But when you look at what he's done as a whole off the field with just growing this league is, absolutely phenomenal for what he did. I mean, he's getting players better pay, better benefits. You know what I mean? He's literally improving the lives of hundreds of people and creating a better league that thousands of people can view. And that's why he'll, there's no way he goes away from this sport. He should be the commissioner for the next, till the day he dies or doesn't want to do it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at him. There needs to be a statue or some trophy named after him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I see that coming eventually. I think he'll get that dues. And then, I mean, not to jump ahead on it, but, kind of a little bright story from him. I didn't know if you caught it, where, he's working on it for, I don't know how many years it is going forward, but he's going to make sure that there's, lacrosse nets in every single state across the United States over the next like 2-3 years. He's going to be, putting in fields and nets and stuff like that to make sure that kids actually have an opportunity. So, that's a neat thing where, he's done, but he's not done growing the sport. He's making sure that there's, kids, may not be every kid, but he's increasing a lot of kids' odds of being able to pick up a stick and, learn this game and stuff like that. So it's just awesome that he, as much as he, can just gloat about being probably the best ever, he just constantly looks to help. He's looking to help others, whether it's his fellow teammates and coaches because they're getting paid better and they have benefits now, or, to making sure little kids have a lacrosse net and, stuff like that. So that's awesome to, hear upon his retirement. Like, I'm done with the sport, I'm retired, but I'm doing this, bam, bam, bam. Like, that's awesome that he, just ran with that already.
Yeah, so he's instantly on to the next thing. Yes, I'm retiring. Yes, I'm hanging up the cleats, hanging up the stick, but I'm nowhere near done with the sport. You could tell that right away. As soon as, even in his retirement speech and everything, you could just tell, that this is nowhere near the end of me in lacrosse. I did not hear that story about him getting lacrosse nets all around the.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not 100% on it, but I know every year from here on out, he's looking to add, goals and make sure that, basically every state has, lacrosse field on it and just grow. So I don't know who he's partnered with, if it's just, him and his brother or what it is, but, a neat little story to look into and stuff like that. for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you also mentioned, him always worrying about making sure his teammates are good and comfortable and everything. And I know there was the story of the indigenous people, and he immediately raised awareness for that. Talked about what all his teammate and friend at that time, Lyle Thompson, what all it meant to him, and what people could do to be aware of the situation and be aware of the indigenous people, and what not only that, but what the sport meant to them. He wants to constantly bring awareness and respect to what it means to them. So that there's that story as well. So he's always, like you said, he's always looking out for other people as well. And again, that speaks to his personality and who he is. So, like you said, with him being at the top of the leaderboard is a great thing, but what he does on and off the field and just who he is as a person raises his pedigree to being one of the best, if not the best all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my book, he is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. He really is. You got those other guys that you mentioned, points wise or on the field, what they did. And a lot of them, if you look at it, a lot of them are different positions too. A lot of the guys are attackmen. Rabil's a midfielder. So as a midfielder, typically you don't quite put up the points numbers as attackmen in a general sense. Obviously, you do have a lot of midfielders that do put up a lot of points. But in a general sense, usually it's the attackmen that are putting up big time points numbers. With Rabil, as at the midfield position, never stopped him from doing amazing things on the field. So in my mind, Rabil's number one. He really is. He's the greatest of all time in my book. Until someone else comes along and does something crazier than what he does, and is a wonderful person on and off the field as well. It's gonna be tough for me to throw somebody else on that number one spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So that's Paul Rabil in a nutshell. We talked about him, fantastic guy, fantastic career. Sad to see him go, but happy for him and all he's accomplished. And again, looking forward to what he's going to continue to accomplish.
Yeah.
So. All right. Next, I wanted to do just a fun little game or quiz. I love doing these types of things on the show. They're just fun little things that just kind of bring you a smile and make you laugh and make you think. So it got me thinking, who as a person with their buddies has not said, oh, we should definitely open up a bar. We should open up a bar. It'd be so cool to do, have a bar together and do this. And so I found a quiz. It's the bar name generator. So it's a bunch of questions that will help you determine the name of your bar, of your future dream bar. If you
I've
will.
definitely thought of this.
I mean, most guys have drunkenly talked about, with their buddies. Oh, dude, we would totally kill it being in the bar scene. We'd have a great bar, so many people, and it'd be so great. A lot of times it doesn't come to fruition, but here we're gonna play it out, and we're gonna see what our bar name would be if we ever opened up a bar. So
I never went past those random conversations.
Yeah.
There was no more effort put out.
No real great, real concrete thought to it.
No.
But it's always been one of those, like you said, one of those things that you've just talked about with your buddies and said, oh, man, it'd be so cool to do. So, so got a handful of questions here that are going to help us determine our bar name. So number one, what's your current drink setup at home? A swanky bar cart, a small home bar, a couple of dusty bottles, a variety pack of beers in the fridge, nothing, and have some basics. So for me, I'm not a huge drinker, to be honest. So my first thing that I would say probably is a couple of dusty bottles, because I have a couple of bottles up on top of my fridge, and I don't really touch them very often. So I'm gonna say a couple of dusty bottles is my answer to that one.
Okay. Am I doing this? Like, are you doing this going through all yours, and then we're gonna go through mine, or
You would just do them together? We'll do them together. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I was gonna say I don't have this. Do I need this link up or anything?
Do you want to?
I don't have it up on right now.
Okay.
So
We can just you just answer, then we'll just
okay.
kind of we'll just go through, and I guess I'll just have my answer at the end.
So I mean, I'm not the biggest drinker either. I mean, if it's football Sunday, like here in an hour, I'm being an adult. My Dolphins, I kind of have to drink sometimes as a little, just to get through the games. But I would say, I mean, I have a little mini fridge set up, and I mean, there's never anything more than like a 12 pack in there. So I don't know where that one really falls in. I'd say maybe like a variety in the fridge, but it's never a big variety. So I mark me down for the variety in the fridge, I guess.
Okay.
If there was, I was hoping there was like a mini fridge or a mini bar, because I feel like that's more my thing.
That could have been the swanky bar cart, but I already clicked on the.
Yeah, just go with the other one. I just
clicked on the other one, so
it's not swanky. I like that word, but
all right. All right. What do you want the actual bar top to look like? White granite, concrete and funky, glass, walnut, pine, or something more unique? Oh boy. I feel like white granite would be cool, but it's not what you think of when you think of a bar.
No, that's more like you're like maybe that in the bathroom, like have that for your fancy bathroom. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like the wood options. I like, maybe like a cool, like, well, then I don't know. I don't know if it falls into like, were those just wood types or was that like a wood category?
There was walnut and there was pine as far as the wood.
Now, I like that idea with the wood, but I feel like I'd go something just a little more unique and have like a more unique, like kind of carving with the table and design rather than just like, your typical. So mark me down for unique. I feel like I'd do something different with like, even like the chairs and stuff like that. I feel like it would be more like a cool wood themed.
Yeah. So I went with walnut. I think just a nice, smooth walnut look to it is the best.
The concrete could kind of be cool. Maybe if you do like a little graffiti, like there's a bar near me called JV Love Drafts, which you have to be 21 and over. So there's not going to be any, little kids in there or anything like that. But it's a really cool bar where they promote a lot of like the underground music and stuff like that, and a lot of the local music, and like it can get a little intense in there with like kind of the heavy metal and kind of grunge. But if you go there earlier, you can walk. you can walk, dude. It can be some like really like heavy metal, just screamo type of stuff. But you go a little bit earlier if that's not your scene. You can go in there and play like a Nintendo 64, a PlayStation 1, where you go and sit and you can have your beer and food and play the old school games all for free. They're just lined up on the tables and you go there and, play all the games for free. So that's really cool. And they're kind of unique where what I was getting at, where not necessarily the concrete, but all the walls in the bar, they had local artists come and tag it and paint it to, kind of their whole unique stuff. So there's probably like 6 to 10 different artists that they let come in there and tag their whole wall. So if you could do something like that with like the concrete, I think that would be cool with some graffiti style. But it's cool to go in there and just see like, just every different artist and, kind of their spin on stuff. And they have outside, they have their whole wall tagged and stuff like that. So real cool just to see, a place support so many local, and stuff that normally doesn't get supported. They're kind of a thing where they have a thing on their sign where it says, no sports, religion, or politics. Not to say you can't go in there wearing a Steelers shirt or a Dolphins shirt, but you're not going to see football or anything on TV. You're not going to, none of those kind of three things are promoted in there. It's more of like, your arts and stuff like that.
Okay.
But a cool thing for, your concrete kind of style thing, if you could switch.
That's cool. I mean, that's
brainstorming more.
That's another one of those things that just customization, just being creative with things, and it really brings a cool spin. And like you said, it really touches on people's talents as artists, that's cool. Absolutely. That'd be cool to do something like that.
No, it's a cool bar.
Question 3, which of these words best describes your bar? Industrial, minimal, luxury, dive, steampunk, or gay?
I feel like I'd feel like I want like a respectable dive bar. You know what I mean? Like, you can have your dive bars, but they're still good to go to. Like, they're just more known by the locals. Like industrial, I don't know. Like that's too,
I don't even know
corporate
what I guess that would be.
sounding. Like, I feel like that's putting me in like the center of a city where like I only get busy because of like the business hour. And it's like, do you like the place or am I just the closest place for food? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'd go with what was the option? I don't even remember.
Industrial, minimal, luxury, dive, steampunk, or gay. I don't even.
I would say it'd have to be like, I feel like a dive bar would just be
Okay.
my thing.
Okay, we'll go dive for you. I out of those options, I'd probably say minimal. Just thinking, just keep it simple. Nothing too crazy, but comfortable for those, especially those, the repeat customers or whatever, and come and you just know what to expect.
You can really dive. I feel like you can branch off of this. A lot,
oh yeah. Yeah.
Because like there's a bar near me that's called Cold Spring Inn, and there's two, kind of levels that you can go outside and sit on, and you just have the creek flowing right beside you. So like you're sitting there eating and enjoying a beer, and you see people coming down on, inner tubes and kayaks and stuff like that. And
oh my gosh,
you wave to them and stuff like that, and half of them stop there to grab a beer before they continue on their float.
That's great.
And Cold Springs, they promote it. They like show, 4 or 5 places you can drop in, and it'll all take you past their, obviously, let me get some money, goes past their business. But yeah, it's really cool to like have something like that too. So
yeah, absolutely.
A lot of neat bars out this way. That
sounds like it. Holy crap.
Little twist,
Yeah. What special feature sounds most exciting to you? Bar lights, a gallery space, comfy chairs, fireplaces, an ocean view, or celebrity guests? Oh, that's tough. A lot of those sound pretty cool.
The celebrity guests, like,
yeah, that one's not so much for me.
I'm not big on celebrities and like really meeting them. Like, it'd be cool, like athletes come in, but like, and
it's
then
not the first thing that comes to mind.
See the beach view, that's awesome in its own, but I'm not personally a big beach person. Like, I really like enjoying the creek going right beside. That's a tough one. I'm gonna make you pick that one first. All right, read through those again, and then you go first.
So bar lights, a gallery space, comfy chairs, fireplaces, an ocean view, or celebrity guests. It's not gonna be celebrity guests for me. Bar lights are cool, but not the most exciting thing for me. Gallery space, you
can make other stuff look
nice. Gallery space, same kind of thing, would be cool, but not first thing. Comfy chairs.
I'm a little, that in the fireplace, I'm a little stuck on. Yeah. And I feel like that goes hand in hand. So honestly, I think now reading through, I know I said you would go, but I'm going with the fireplace. I'm going with the fireplace before I change my mind again, just because, again, a couple of the bars out my way, like I can think of 2 or 3 of them where you can go sit outside with. The new one has, you go outside and you can sit in the fire pit, or you can, throw a cornhole right beside the fire pits and stuff like that. So I'm going fire pit, not to jump you and cut you off on it, but I'm going fire pit.
You go first. All right, never mind. No.
The comfy chairs, man. That's a tough one.
It
doesn't matter if it's a restaurant or a bar. It don't matter where it is. My butt needs to be in a comfy chair, right? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but I think,
I think for me, I'm actually gonna go what you threw away right after that. I'm gonna go with an ocean view. I'm a huge ocean guy. I love the ocean. Just thinking about having a bar near the ocean for me. Just being able to see it, being able to, if you were on like the ocean side, like you're on the beach, if you would just be able to, because I know when I went to Hawaii, there was a restaurant bar that was like on the beach, and it was literally, you just would come in off the beach, go to do your thing, and walk right back out onto the sand. That would be awesome. In my book, it would be awesome. Yeah, it'd be great to have comfy chairs or fireplace or something, but be able to have an ocean view, sitting around with your buddies, or just doing whatever. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I think I'm trying to design mine a little. I think I'm trying to be a little more realistic with mine. You know what I mean? Like, being in PA, like, and I mean, that's not the part of this, game or whatever. But me, it's like I'm trying to think like what's most realistic. But then again, like I said, I'm not a big beach guy. Like, there's when we go up to New York to snowboard, there's a place called West Kill Brewery. And it looks like you're going into this little tiny cabin, you know what I mean? And then when you're drinking, you can sit outside, and I kid you not, man, you do a complete 360. You don't see another building. It's just the mountains. It's the Catskills. You're literally just looking out into the Catskills while, you're drinking a beer and stuff like that. And that's what I truly like. You know,
See,
I'm a big
having a good
snowboarder
view,
skier.
having a good
Yeah.
view out of out
I
of the
mean,
bar.
if I could, I would just say, let me build a bar like in a ski town and I'd be done with this game, you know?
That's all I
I
need.
would like, you can give me uncomfortable chairs. You can,
Yep.
like, I'd be happy with that.
Yep. What's your go-to drink? Wine, beer, margarita, champagne, a cocktail, or something else?
I'm beer. I have given wine chance left and right, and I cannot get into it. I would love to get into it and do these little like, vineyard tours and stuff like that because it seems like a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
I cannot do that. I've definitely grown away from liquor,
Yeah.
that was really, I feel like, a college phase for me.
Yeah.
Now it's really, I'll have a rum and Coke, but like I need to taste more of like the Coke over the rum. I can't do the like, feel like I'm taking a shot. So I'm a beer. It would be beers would be the drinks of
Go-to.
everything in there. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That's tough for me because again, I obviously I don't drink very often, but I will have like wine with certain meals. With being Italian, the wine goes with spaghetti or lasagna or something like that. I do every once in a while I like having sipping on like amaretto or something like that. Just amaretto on the rocks. But I'm probably the same. I'm probably beer. Just grab a cold one, crack it open, just sit and watch some football or something like that. Watch hockey. It's probably my go-to. There are special occasions for those other things, but go-to is probably just a cold beer.
So now let me ask you this though. If you are now that's your go-to. Now, if you're designing this where you're putting it on the beach, are you gonna would you go with beers if you have this on the beach, or would you go with more your cocktails, kind of fruitier, outdoorsy beach drinks? Would that change your mind if you actually had the beach?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah, but we're being straightforward here.
Yeah. No, I know. Hey, I gotta mix it in a little bit.
Yeah, I understand. Absolutely.
I'll make this tough on you. Make you second guess your choices.
Yeah, no, you're right. If it was on the beach, it obviously would still have beer, but yeah, it'd probably lean more towards the tequila sunrises and the.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, I hear you.
Fair
Absolutely. Where do you want your bar to be? Downtown, LA, a hip surf town, in the mountains, Ireland, or Brooklyn?
I mean, I have mine. I mean, mine's in the mountains. If I could, right there's my put me in for the local town brewery. But when ski season comes into play, we're that bar that everyone comes to. We're the ski lodge. Don't spend even more of your money on the mountain. You already did enough of that probably with your tickets and food and stuff. So come help out the local person.
See, this one's tough for me because none of them really match up. Downtown, no. LA, no. A hip surf town. The thing that threw me off there was the whole hip part. I'm not the hipster kind of person.
Yeah.
In the mountains sounds pretty cool. Ireland, I get what they're going with there with the Irish people and their craziness. And Brooklyn, I mean, it's that's almost the same as downtown, right? So
I feel like if you're not about the city, the LA, the Brooklyn, and honestly like the Ireland, like I don't know, like I get what they're saying with Ireland, but I feel like you're just another brewery or another bar in Ireland, like another pub in Ireland. I'd want to be a little more out, a little bit, not like more known or say to be more successful, but just like, where people are coming there, like, that's the place, kind of like your home feeling, your hometown bar, it's just your comfort zone when you, even if you've been away for a while.
Right. So out of those choices, I either still go with the surf town or I go with the mountains with you. I'm leaning towards the mountains. I think that'd be cool out of those choices. I'm gonna go with that.
There's like, I've been to, going to New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire with the ski pass that I get, those mountains are all on it and stuff. And dude, it's so cool to just go to like these small town, I'm a small town type of guy. I'm not the city, hence going to Johnstown and, still Mechanicsburg's growing, but it is, a little bit, it's not your Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, city size. And it's just cool to like, go in there, you know, the people know you're the outsiders. They know, you know, you're here for a trip right away. And
Yeah.
it's cool to just kick up a conversation. The last time we were up in New York, you know, Kelly was talking to, you know, I said something about like Round Top Mountain, which is near me, and being from central Pennsylvania. And this guy's like, oh yeah, I used to live there. So we, you know, our whole dinner, we just had a random conversation to him, like, you know, talking about this and that, and, you know, kind of memories, bringing it back to him and stuff like that. And I was like, well, if I would have known this, I would have brought you some, you know, Middlesworth chips and stuff like that. You know, the hunger, you know, and stuff like that for the good PA snacks, you know.
Yeah,
PA
having those bars that are out away from everything, you're gonna get those wholesome conversations as opposed to just being there to have a drink and fighting 1,000 different people just wanting to get drunk, and as opposed to,
you know, you're going to have a neat little conversation because, like I said, they know you're, you know, the outsiders, they know who the locals are and stuff like that. So, you know, you normally always kick up a cool conversation, even if it's a 5-minute one about, you know, where you're from and stuff like that. It's neat to always have those conversations and stuff like that. So I love those little, you know, those little bars and stuff like that. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, they have some really cool view too. So,
yeah. All right. Pick a word. Bam, mighty, yas,
no,
sassy,
no,
live, or elegant.
You're gonna have to give me those first 2 or 3 because I lost it after that. I was like, I hate whoever just put that in there.
Oh, that's great. Bam, mighty, yas, sassy, live, elegant.
Give me, it's got to be one of the first. Give me, I hope this isn't in the actual name. Give me Bam. Give me Bam.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with as well. Mighty doesn't have any.
Mighty's just.
I know. It doesn't seem like they're asking as far as bar related. I think they just wanted you to pick the first word that seemed appealing to you. But to me, that's Bam. Yeah. Bam. You know, here it is coming at you. Yeah.
No, and that reminded me. There's a place called Bam's Crab Shack that just opened up in Mechanicsburg. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to try that.
Nice.
Like, you know, so they just moved in Mechanicsburg. So I'm eager to try that out. You know, have a local place with, you know, crabs and seafood and stuff.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Absolutely. Which of these countries would you most like to visit? Italy, the Maldives. I think that's how you say it. Maldives. Yeah. Chile, Cuba, New Zealand, or Japan?
Ooh, I've had a couple friends go to New Zealand and they seem to love it.
Yeah,
same. I feel like it's always been good. Japan, like, I feel like that would be awesome, but
that would be an experience.
My first one is Italy. That hands down, I've always wanted to go to Italy. Like that's on my vacation list. Because I've always been a huge Gladiator. Like that's my favorite movie. So and learning about like the Roman culture and Roman history and stuff like that, Julius Caesar stuff, like that's like my kind of my history nerd coming out of me ordeal. So like I really want to see like the Colosseum before you know, too late. And yeah, I mean that Italy is definitely that's my number one. The only thing that might have competed with it would have been if Greece is thrown in on there, I might have a little, or even Australia, you know, see the Great Barrier Reef. But no, I'm going Italy. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, mine's between Italy and New Zealand. My first feeling was New Zealand, and then you started talking about Italy, and I was like, damn, you're right on all those things. And me being Italian, I also kind of be like, I'm doing a disservice to my Italian heritage there. But to be fair, my first thought was New Zealand, so maybe I still go with New Zealand then. Obviously, I'd like to do both, but
yeah,
that caught my eye first, so I guess I got to go with New Zealand. Yeah, I've heard, like you said, I've heard stories of people who've went to New Zealand, and they said it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I know. What's the movie? Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was recorded in New Zealand, and just those huge green pastures and trees and everything, and just the landscape is supposedly absolutely amazing in New Zealand.
The pictures I saw were just like, holy crap. Like,
so I know Italy, again, I would very much like to go to Italy, but to be fair, New Zealand caught my eye first, so I have to go with New Zealand. Who do you own the bar with? My partner, my friends, my brother, sister, a top sommelier.
I'd go with my partner because I feel like she could run a good food. She works at a
Okay.
country club and prepares, the meals for weddings and stuff like that.
Ah,
And does a lot of the catering. So I feel like she could handle that other side. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go with that for that pretty easy reason. And number two, I wouldn't trust any of my friends. I feel like they'd be lazy bums and I'd be doing it all, go back to elementary school, high school, when there's a group project and one or two people are doing it and the others are just like, yeah, oh, that's what you got. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like that would be my group of friends. And
Yeah, I'm
no,
with you. It's not quite the same reason. Unfortunately, I don't have a partner that has the background that yours does. But
yeah,
I just think, like you said, running it with your friends would be a little bit worrisome because I feel like wouldn't be taken as seriously. It wouldn't be a business.
yeah,
It would just be another hangout thing, another place to just kind of mess around. But
yeah.
if you did it with your partner, it's you guys together doing what you love, and
Right,
yeah.
right.
So I'm going partner as well. Yeah. What is your specialty cocktail called? This is it. Rainy nights, siren tears, elixir, pride potion, or wonderlust.
I'm gonna go with the first one.
This is it.
This is it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really care
Uh,
for any of those though, but maybe it's just because I'm not a mixed drink guy. I don't know what the name should
maybe.
be or like
Right.
but,
I'm gonna go rainy nights though. I think rainy nights
I
sounds
I
pretty
like
cool.
that. I feel like that one could play into like if it matches like your bar. We'll see if it matches your bar name. We'll see if
Yeah.
it'll actually be able to play into
Like
it.
almost like a dark midnight, like mysterious type of feel to it. Rainy
Yeah.
nights just kind of sounds like a cool, refreshing specialty
Yeah.
cocktail. Yeah, I'll go rainy nights.
That would
Sounds
have been my number two. But
yeah. How do you want your bar to be described? Welcoming, trendy, hot, culinary, fun, or the best?
I'd go welcoming because I feel like if you're a welcome in a bar, like, and you have a friendly staff and stuff like that, that's, a big battle. I don't want to go into a bar and be, kind of not looked at or, just kind of pushed aside. So that I'd say that's the easiest one. Cause I feel like if you do that, that can put you in line to be the best. Like if you're the best, but you're going to like treat me like I'm just whatever, like
Right.
I'm not coming back. Like, I don't know
Right.
how you're the best in all honesty.
Right. Yeah, I'm 100% with you there and welcoming. The other stuff would be cool to
Yeah.
to be able to say, you got the trendy things going on, the hot, it's culinary, it's fun. But yeah, if you're not welcoming, and that's just me as a person too. If I'm not welcoming to you and you don't feel welcome when you come into a place and you're just like you said, just another number or another person walking in there and
Yeah.
getting just to get a drink,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same impact, doesn't have the same feel to it. So yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta be welcoming. I 100% agree. Who frequents your bar? The most attractive people, artists, everyone, tourists, locals, my friends.
Uh, I just go local. Like I said, I want to kind of be that like welcoming local, mountain bar if I could. That'll bring the tourists in later. So I'd go just your local bar.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go everyone. It's kind of going back to the same thing as the last question with welcoming. Just anybody's welcome. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would want my friends. Yeah, I want the locals who are gonna have the interaction with me. But anyone, I'd like to hear stories from people halfway across the world. That stuff. That they've lived through. Um, yeah, I mean everybody, anybody and everybody that wants to be there, you're more than welcome. So I'll go everyone. What kind of beer do you like best? IPAs, sours, Kolsch, stouts, hard cider, or not a beer person?
I hated sours like when they first like I first tried them. Like I like had that bitter beer face. Like it was just too
Yeah,
much. And I think the companies I was trying were trying to go too hard on the sours. Like they were just going for like the most sour, and I can't do that.
yeah.
But recently, and probably my favorite place, and it's where I had my first date with Kelly. Was it's a smaller brewery, and they do a lot of, kind of specialty beers, and a lot of them tend to be sours. And I feel like I've been on a sour kick the past
Okay.
couple years. So I'm going to change it up and do sours as opposed to, I think, what most people do, the IPAs with everything now.
Okay. I don't even, what Kolsch?
That's like a German style, like kind of like I think it's like a lighter lager. Like I'm not a beer full connoisseur know it all, but I think it's more like a lighter kind of German style beer lager. I think, I don't know, maybe someone in the comments will correct us on
Right. Yeah.
Monday or whatever, but without Googling it,
I'm not an IPAs guy. I'm
gonna say the fact that you didn't know what it is, that's not your beer.
Right. I guess I have to go stouts then. I mean,
okay.
I'm not really. I'll drink hard cider. Hard cider is cool every once in a while, but it's not my go-to. I don't really like IPAs. I don't even know if I've really had sours before. And like you said, the fact that I don't know what a Kolsch is, I guess I gotta go with the stout. So
okay.
Yeah. All right. Pick a hard liquor. Jack Daniels, tequila, bourbon, vodka, gin, or brandy.
I'd probably go tequila.
Okay.
Like a tequila, or like probably tequila or vodka, but like just rum wasn't on there, was it? Like a plain rum?
No.
That just kind of foiled me, because that would be my my go-to. So I'm gonna go tequila, because I don't know, I don't really care for anything else, I feel like.
Fair enough. Least are the best of the worst.
Yeah, I guess so. Definitely one way to look at it.
Definitely don't like gin.
No.
Not really big vodka. I'm not huge. I will drink bourbon. Jack Daniels and bourbon, that's kind of the same thing though, right? I mean,
Jack Daniels, I can't do this is like I feel like from last night, like they had some liquor and like the guy made me a rum and coke, and I kid you not, it was so strong that like I drank a quarter of it and went back and had to get a beer, and was just like, I'd take a little sip of the rum and coke, and then I'd have to
wash it down with the beer.
I'd literally drink a quarter of the beer and be like, all right, I did a sip of this, I need to do 4 sips of the beer now, because I can't do it. And bro, you're not getting tipped any better. I'm not that type of person.
I don't need it this strong. I
don't know if it's because he saw me tip a 10 at the beginning of the night, but that was just kind of for the whole night,
Yeah.
And
that was in advance.
I mean, I saw him dump it, and I was just like, oh
shit.
Crap, that looked like at least 4 shots right now. And it was my first mixed drink. I'm not in the mood for that. I'm not trying to end up waking up with the goats tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? I'm not talking Paul Rabil. I'm talking about the little goats and cows that were across.
Screaming goats, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, I probably would have got drunk and wanted to go pet them or something like that. I was at a farm earlier, and they had a goats petting zoo, so I probably would have thought I was at the petting zoo earlier, and then bad times. I mean, dude, I kind of, not to get off topic, but my buddy and I were at a wedding, and it was at a golf course. It was the reception and stuff after the wedding, and my buddy jokes and goes, hey, you'll find me at the 9th hole later tonight. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'll be passed out. And I'm like, dude, don't joke about that.
Don't joke about it.
So we start, this guy that was a guest, the girl that, friends with in college, and it was her wedding guest at the time. He comes walking out with this drink, and I was like, oh, you just drinking water? He goes, no, it's double vodka. And I'm like, what? And dude, bro, double vodka, no chaser in it, no chaser in the other hand, not even ice in this thing. It was just straight a cup of vodka with maybe.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh boy. So my buddy Corey and I thought one of us were going to be the ones on the 9th hole passed out. Wasn't us. It was Mr. Double Vodka, we're going to call him, because I don't remember his name. And the girl at the time was like, have you seen my date? And I was like, I saw him an hour or two ago, but that's been it. I have no idea. Dude, he was passed out. Not the 9th hole, but he was passed out.
Oh, probably
on
the 5th.
11th, the 11th hole or something was nearby, and he was.
Oh my gosh, that's
it was great. Funny, but
drinking water, no, double vodka.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, we got a problem.
Oh my gosh.
Someone's gonna be.
But anyway, bringing it back. If I have to pick, like you said, from the choices that are there, best of the worst, I'll go bourbon, I guess.
Okay. The only bourbon I like is if it's like bourbon wings, they mix it in the sauce for me. I can do that 100%.
Sipping on bourbon, I guess, but really watered down and on a lot of rocks. What's your wine preference? Red, white, bubbly, rosé, any? I'm not into wine.
Not into it. I have not into it.
Okay.
I've given all those a chance and I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm easily red wine. Nice. I like a Cabernet Sauvignon, and like you said, especially like I said, with having it with meals, best. Yeah, red wine for sure, easily there. Which of these words best describes you? Bubbly, surly, laid back, creative, ambitious, confident.
I'd go laid back.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could go ambitious on that, but I feel like, laid back. I feel like that's me.
Yeah. First thing to describe you. Yeah. I'll probably say bubbly, honestly. Just kind of one of those guys that just always trying to smile and laugh and bring some joy to the room. Obviously there are other ones, creative, ambitious. But for me, first thing was bubbly. Yeah.
I feel like we both have a little taste on each of those, but like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not exactly how, I don't know. I always kind of say, when you first meet me, like I'm a quiet, laid back person. Like it takes a couple meetings before I'm comfortable with people. I don't know. I just like to feel people out. I don't believe, first impression is everything. So I like to get to know someone, a little bit more. So that's where
I got you.
That fits in.
Which of these would you most want in your bar? A pool table, darts, a jukebox, a dance floor, a chef, a view?
I'm gonna go with the pool table because I feel like Kelly's gonna be my chef, and so I feel like that would be a good one. You want the places that seem to succeed now have good food with the beer. You know what I mean, or at least that food option. So I think that's where I'd go with my option on.
You said pool table, right?
Pool table, yeah, just something games to like have
something entertainment. That's your entertainment. Mine's between a jukebox and a dance floor because I'm such a big music guy. I do love dancing. I love seeing people dance and express themselves. Now that I think about the chef though too, it'd be great to have good food.
Yes, I mean, I feel like the jukebox, like, I don't know, I feel like that's tough because you're gonna have your music playing, but to me, like a jukebox is like, older. I'm going up, I'm picking those songs for my music. Or, do you look at it at the jukebox with the iPhone stuff, you know what I mean? That's kind of like the modern day jukebox where you can just, pay and go through your phone and stuff. So
yeah, I feel like you can get by without a jukebox though. Like you said, you're gonna have your music either way.
And even if it's live performance, then because you don't have, it going on or whatever.
All right, I'm going dance floor then. I want to see people enjoy themselves, have some fun, express themselves, and get crazy with it.
This is a lot of questions for a bar name.
Yeah, we're on 18 of 29, so we probably should try to pick it up a little bit here.
All right, let's speed through a couple.
How would people hear about your bar? Instagram, word of mouth, flyers, or travel guides?
Word of mouth. I think that's your best thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's the best way to. If you got people talking about it, then you're doing something right. What would be your role at the bar? Strictly the owner, the bartender, the promoter, the DJ, the event planner?
I mean, we're naming my bar. I'm going to be the owner.
There you go.
Like, yeah.
I'm going to take a different kind of direction on this. I'm going to say event planner.
Okay.
I'm bring up my creativity side. And be the one that's planning these cool events for people to show up. So I'm gonna go that direction.
No, that's a good one.
Obviously, like you said, this is your bar. You should be the owner, but I don't want to be. It said strictly the owner, so I don't want to just be the owner. I want to be involved and do other stuff. I know you probably do too, but either way. Which of these design trends are you most into? Penny tiles, neon signs, driftwood, succulents, books as decor, armchairs.
I always like the cool beer signs, the neon signs. I love the old signs that you saw more maybe like 40s, 50s. I feel like type of ordeal. So I'm going with that.
Okay.
That's
Now when they say penny tiles,
where like you look up and it's literally like pennies just lining the entire like roof. Like so it gives you that like kind of copper like look. Like I've seen
yeah.
it done in a couple bars. It's not bad, but like I don't know, there's just a bunch of pennies on the wall. It's copper. Like I don't know. I hope you're not picking that one because I kind of tried. Like
I was thinking about it because my reasoning was a couple years ago. I started collecting like tops from beer can or like beer bottles, beer bottle tops, and I was gonna make like a table with beer tops in them. So I'm kind of like I kind of relate to what they're saying with the penny tiles there. Like I just haven't stuff.
But see, that's more unique because someone at UPJ actually had that. They had one that was the size of a table and it was blue and gold with like UPJ in the gold, and then the rest were blue. So like that was cool. But that's cooler than like pennies. They're all the same. You know what I mean? You can't really do a design, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Neon signs would be cool. Drift would be cool. I'm not a big reader, so not books. I like plants. Don't get me wrong. I like plants, but no. I guess I'll go armchairs. Be comfortable with my armchairs.
If you're comfy, yeah.
If you're comfy, sure, we'll go with that.
Don't spill it. Just don't spill it on.
Just don't spill it on the arms.
Then there'll be problems.
Yep. What's most likely to be in your bar? A vase of wine corks, specialty drinks, models, an air hockey table, an indoor waterfall, a dance floor. Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna go with the indoor waterfall though, because I already picked my pool table earlier, and I think that would be cool to have a little thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would. My first thing was gonna be air hockey table, but then I saw the indoor waterfall, and I was like, that would be so cool.
Air hockey would definitely be different, but I think it's more different with the waterfall.
Yeah. All right, you got people. Yeah. Now I'm thinking like the legal part here. Hold on, we got people with the dance floor from earlier. I've got the dance floor, and then they're gonna be dancing. They're gonna fall in the waterfall or something. But no, I'm gonna go waterfall as well. I think that'd be pretty cool to have a waterfall in your bar. Does your bar serve food? Of course.
Yeah.
Only light snacks or no?
Of course. We didn't even have to ask that one.
Yeah, that's a big yes. Yeah, absolutely. Which of these is your favorite metallic? Gold, silver, bronze, copper, rose gold.
Yeah, I wish it was. I'm none. I'll go rose gold, I guess. I really don't have one, honestly. Oops. I'm not big on that. Like, like jewelry, like, or
yeah.
gold, like
I'm thinking. Like, I'm gonna go gold. Just like I'm thinking in my mind, I'm thinking like black and gold almost. Not necessarily like Steelers black and gold, but like an actual like gold with gold trim. With like yeah. So I'm thinking actual like bar like design.
Not a big fan of that question.
Okay. No, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Which of these cities would you most like your bar to be in? Seattle, Portland, the Keys, New York City, Austin, or Honolulu?
I think Seattle would be cool. I feel like you can get a cool music scene. It's a nice little. I've been in that area once on a trip, so like it's neat. I'll go Seattle.
Okay. That was gonna be my first one. I'm a big fan of Seattle. Never been there, but for whatever reason, I'm a big fan of it. I wouldn't want to be New York City. Austin, no. The Keys, maybe, but I'm going Honolulu. Okay. I was lucky enough to be in Hawaii, not specifically Honolulu or anything, but
yeah.
And going back again to the beach setting, I think it'd be so cool, and it was cool just being able to be near the beach and go to a bar and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool, right on.
Which of these would best describe your bar? Sleek, dark, clean, colorful, loud, tiki.
I'm just gonna go with clean. Welcoming and clean. I feel like that's two big ones. It's from before, so I'm going clean.
Okay. Not dark. Not loud. Even though I have the dance floor, I guess that kind of
Yeah,
goes
but
in.
you can be within reasoning of
Yeah.
like, do I need to be an inch away from you screaming for you to hear me, or can we
Right.
still have a conversation?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Tiki. I'm gonna go Tiki. Just kind of going with
It's fitting
the
your
whole
previous
con.
question.
It's fitting a couple of the last ones. Just being Hawaii setting, kind of just beach setting, just Tiki. But yeah,
100%. Yeah.
which of these fruits would you most like in a cocktail? Strawberry, blackberry, blood orange, grapefruit, prickly pear, cranberry.
Strawberry. Strawberry for sure. That was easy.
Yeah.
Strawberry is one of my favorite fruits. The other ones like grapefruit and that, I can't do it. So
strawberries, Sam. Strawberries are easily my favorite fruit, but I'm thinking just in a cocktail, which would be the best. I mean, you could still do it. You can still do a good cocktail with a strawberry. Yeah, I'll go strawberry
that's
too.
for the bartender to figure out.
That's fair. Fair. Which of these would you most like to try? Homemade limoncello. Don't know what that is. A paloma. White wine slushy. A sidecar. 100-year-old bourbon. A Bloody Mary.
I'm gonna go with 100. Even though I'm not a big bourbon guy, I think the 100 years old is kind of just the neat aspect of it. So I'm gonna go with that.
Better with age.
Plus, I can just sip it, so it's not like I gotta be on the hall for like a whole drink.
Yeah. I've had Bloody Marys before. I do like Bloody Marys. White wine slushy.
Wine slushies, dude, that's actually something like I tried those, and I can do a wine slushy over like straight up wine. It's weird. I don't know if they add like a little more something to it or whatever, but like
probably.
I can take a little sips of those more than regular wine.
I don't know what half these things are, to be honest.
I don't know what the first two were, so that's why I kind of just
what you got? You know what a sidecar is?
I've heard of it, but I have no idea. Again, when it comes to like the liquor names,
all right, I guess I'll to try. I guess I'm gonna go same with you. Let's go with 100-year-old bourbon to see what. I guess to compare it to a bourbon you're used to drinking. Like, what's the big difference to a bourbon that's aged 100 years? You know?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Pick a flavor: mango, pink lemonade, ginger, mint, coffee, or cream.
Mango. Love me a good mango. Pink lemonade, though, I do like that too, but I'm gonna go mango. I feel like mango you can make a lot of good drinks with. It's a good fruit.
Yeah. Oh man, that's tough. I like a lot of. You know what? I'm gonna go mint.
Okay.
I'm gonna go mint, almost like some kind of creamy mint kind of thing. It's what my mind kind of first picked up on. Something just cool and refreshing. I'm gonna go mint. All right, last question. Which of these drinks would you probably avoid? Anything blue, anything tropical, alcoholic milkshakes, shots, mojitos, a cotton candy margarita.
Cotton candy margarita. I cannot, like, other than straight up cotton candy, I cannot. I dislike bajillion times over and over again. I cannot do the fake candy. Cotton candy. I can't even say it right. How much I don't like it.
It's frustrating you that much. I can't even say it.
Oh, dude, I feel like I've tried it and it's just bad memories being brought up. Nope.
I've got no issue with any of those, except for probably shots.
As shots now, like
I'm past that. Yeah,
that was a contender. Like, you know, a shot of cotton candy, I'd probably rather get smacked in the face. Like,
shot of cotton candy.
Let's find out our names. We don't need to figure it. We don't need to dwell on this crappy flavor.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Oh well. All right, you've got.
I was gonna say, red. Exit out of it, dude.
Red Oak. No, I hit the wrong answer on mine. But your bar name is Red Oak Tavern. Your bar should be called Red Oak Tavern. You're a simple person who wants nothing more than a good drink, some chats with friends, and now and then a hearty meal to tuck into. You're modest and laid back.
Yeah, that is spot on, kind of creepy. Like, that's exactly what I would envision. Like, and I like the name a lot. I like it a lot. All right, what do you get?
I got. Hello. Can you click off that? Oh, I got the same thing.
Okay.
Mine's Red Oak Tavern as well. Simple person who wants nothing more than good drinks, some chats with friends, and not hardy. I mean,
I do feel we
it
had
makes sense.
a lot of closer ones. So that puts it on everyone that watches this. Go do the little quiz and let's see who comes up with the coolest bar name right now. Since we
so I guess there was only a handful of ones that could come up.
Okay.
A handful of different names. So then I got the overall public score of what the names that came up. So we've got Here's to Bubbles with 29%, After Hours with 29%, Irresponsible at 19%, and then what we got, Red Oak Tavern at 15%, Corkscrewed at 6%, and Belchies at 2%. So yeah, it looks like they only had a handful of different names that you could get.
Okay.
But like you said, it was kind of spot on with the description of what we would want for our bar. Just a good drink, chats with friends, a nice meal, and just kind of modest and laid back.
Well, hopefully some people that watch this will get on it, and maybe we'll get some different answers.
Yeah, somebody gets like different. I want somebody to get that 2% Belchies. I don't know if I want to know what that is.
No, yeah. No, that was good. That was fun. It was interesting.
So this little game / quiz was on quizoni.com /bar name generator. So go check it out, do it for yourself and see how, like you said, I want to see what kind of, if somebody can get one of these different names on here, and see what kind of bar you would come up with.
Absolutely.
So that was fun. I love doing those types of things. I like seeing what these quizzes and games come up with as far as rating our personality. Usually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's good hearing some of your stories as well on your different bars and how your golf partner with his double vodka. That was great.
Yeah.
All right. So to finish it off, of course, we've got bright stories of the week. I do have one my mom submitted. So a couple of months ago, my parents, their water meter actually like cracked or was leaking or something was wrong with it in their house. And so they had like a little bit of a flood. And so actually they had somebody come out and kind of take care of it. And they agreed to put in new flooring for my parents. And so while they were doing that, that's kind of a bright story in its own. Like they didn't, didn't get charged or anything. They kind of took care of it because of what happened. But what happened while they were there doing the work on the flooring and everything, one of the workers was out walking around. I can't remember if my mom said if it was like lunchtime or whatever it was, if they were on their break, but whatever reason they were walking out around the house. And my parents' neighbor, very elderly woman, does not walk very well. And she was out middle of the day already trying to take out her trash. And she's there walking, half a mile an hour, trying to take her trash out. And one of the workers just, without even thought, just walked right over to her, grabbed her trash, took it out for her, and just stayed and talked to her for a handful of minutes. And my mom, noticed it, and she said, that it really was something that hit her. Just, one of these guys that are there working on their house, and to take the time to help an elderly woman take her trash out. You can clearly see that she was struggling to walk and take the trash. Just to recognize that and just go help her out and continue to talk to her and ask her how her day's going, just simple thing like that. And it resonated with my mom seeing that happen as well. So again, simple thing, and just recognizing, just being aware of little things that you can do for people, and just to help them out and make their day. I'm sure my neighbor, or my parents' neighbor, was my neighbor, obviously, but my parents' neighbor, I'm sure she was blown away by that. I'm sure she really appreciated it, not only taking the trash to help her out physically, but just talking to somebody. She lives alone. She's not in the best shape physically, but just having somebody come over and check in on her and see how she's doing and just talk to her for a while, I'm sure it made her day.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Amazing what a, 5 minutes out of your day can do for someone else,
Yep.
if it was even that,
Yeah.
taking that trash probably took him, a minute or whatever, but to actually, stay there and have a conversation, that's awesome.
Yep.
I'm sure that meant a lot,
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah, and the fact that, like I said, the fact that they were there working on my parents' house and focused on doing their job, but to take the time out to just say hello to a neighbor, never hurts,
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Collin, do you have a bright story for us?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like building on that with the neighborhood and stuff. I kind of got to thinking of it when you sent the list over and stuff, because I honestly would have probably blanked on this now, as like what show am I on, and I blank on this, but a lady who she had her dog passed away, and she adopted another dog, and I guess this one kind of turned out to be a little bit stronger than she thought initially, and it kind of pulled and yanked her down, and she broke her hip. And so being, again, someone older lady now, very limited on walking and mobility and stuff, and lives alone, and now kind of who's going to help take care of the dog. So I noticed a lot of people in the neighborhood, it seems like there was a rotation for her, for someone walking the dog. I saw like 3 or 4 people that kind of constantly walk the dog, through this time period. And seemed like they had a rotation with the neighbors on, making sure she, if she needed driven anywhere, just groceries picked up, just those little things. And, instead of her having to, kind of maybe learn, the Peapod for giant groceries and deal with the technology, that, something that she's not used to doing and didn't feel comfortable with. So, that kind of little community area that we have in here kind of all, jump together for a little bit while, that, went on until she could recover, walk again and kind of recover and all that stuff. So, from just going and grabbing groceries or a prescription, little stuff like that. So, that was cool to see, the little area. And she's such a nice lady that anytime you see her out, she's always trying to have a conversation with you. She was a teacher, definitely probably a really good teacher. I just have a feeling that really cared about her students and stuff, and just always, an eye on the neighborhood. She's always out walking around and always knows what's going around and stuff like that. So, everyone knows her and stuff like that. So that was really, really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I see over a long period of time.
I love hearing stories of not only, one person helping somebody out, but when a whole community like that comes together, it just seems great. I mean, the planning or the cohesion of everybody coming together, be like, hey, I can do it this day, can you go and do it the next day? And everybody's got their their busy schedule, everybody's doing their own thing, but for a group of people to come together like that to help somebody out, it always kind of warms my heart a little bit more. That's awesome. Yeah, it's, again, you see a situation where you can help, and for people to not hesitate, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Absolutely
awesome. That's awesome. All right, there you have it. Been another good one. It's good to be back. It's good to hear some bright stories again. It's good to talk about lacrosse. It's good to talk about some amazing people, whether it be Paul Rabil or neighbors or just workers in the community. There's amazing people out there. There's a lot of good people willing to do nice things for people, and it's good to be able to share them with you guys. So as always, Collin, I really appreciate your stories. I appreciate your insight. Thanks for doing the fun game with me as well.
Yeah, that was a blast. Good to be back. Good to be back on with you, man. Glad you got this episode, after a little break, little reset, So good to see you back. Like I said, good to be back on it.
Absolutely. Collin, thanks again for joining me. Appreciate it.
Yep. Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, good to be back, and hopefully looking forward to more wonderful episodes in the future. Hope you have a wonderful and bright week. I continue to challenge you guys to do something bright, do something nice for somebody throughout your week, and share it with us. So we're able to talk, my guests and I are able to talk about it. We're able to share some of these good stories with people, and some of these stories that are going on in the world, as opposed to all the negative, the negative stories and the not so great stuff. There's a lot of good stuff going on around there, and being able to share it is so wholesome and so humbling to me to be able to do. So do something nice to somebody, share it with us so we can talk about it and show the world that it's not all that bad, and we can be good to one another. Having examples of it always goes a long way. So thanks again, guys. Again, hope you enjoyed. If you can, obviously, go check out social media, Instagram, Twitter. Obviously, if you have not subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, go and do that. And go a long way. Like the video on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And otherwise, spread the word. Spread the word of Bright Connections. Continue to help us grow and spread some brightness to the world. Guys, have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. Take care.